This is a crossover episode.
Oh my goodness. You know why? Because I am in love with it.
This is, I don't love it. I'm in love with it.
There are like 4 things in this world that I love, and this is one of them.
What are the other 3? If I don't make the top 4.
I start podcasts with everything I love.
This topic, Tyler has talked about it multiple times, but has not actually
gotten a chance to.
You've not.
You said this is kind of like the Twilight episode. Yeah, except for I know I like this.
The Twilight episode.
Twilight I watched because like I was obligated because my students were all listening to it.
Yeah.
And this is.
This is it. You want to say it?
No, I want you to say it.
No,
I can't say it. I can't
wanna...
say it. It's too close to home.
You know, when you get like the shivers, you're like,
no, I don't make that noise, but yeah, go ahead.
We are going to explain Harry Potter.
Yes, we are.
Oh my gosh. Tyler, I don't know if you've been, are there any other episodes you've been as excited about than this one?
You know what? I was excited about Twilight just because I had just watched like 2 of the movies.
Okay.
And so I was like, I was very fresh on it, if you will.
Yeah.
But I think Harry Potter is actually, because they just came out with a show, a trivia show about Harry Potter.
Really?
Yes. It's on Cartoon Network. We watched it. It premiered, I think, Sunday night. And it's like Hogwarts Trivia Challenge or House of Champions. They do trivia.
They have trivia nights with at Nexus Coffee and Creative in downtown Little Rock. They have Thursday nights, and they have a.
Titus and I were going to go, but he had a basketball game.
They'll do more.
If you find out they do another one, would you let me know?
Yeah.
We'll live stream the podcast there. Oh. Could we do like a live podcast there 100%. During the trivia?
They would love it.
I'm dead serious. We could set up, we could host, and then like we ask the questions, and then we do that. That would be so fun.
Oh wow!
And then people on the podcast could try to see if they know.
That would be awesome.
I mean,
this is a good idea.
I think.
Yeah, this is good.
I'm really excited. Can Titus come? Thanks.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Harry Potter today. Okay, yeah. You know who is like a magician in his own right? What house do you think Joseph Tilley would be in?
I don't know what you're talking about with houses.
Oh dear goodness, are you serious? Are you serious right now?
I don't know.
Hey guys,
you got to understand something here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you tell him.
I'll tell him.
You tell him.
So Neil's leaving the podcast. Is that what you wanted me to say? Because that's what I felt when you said that.
No.
You're top 2.
No.
Top 3. Don't you love when people are specific? You're one of my top 17 favorite people. Whatever number I am. 17. I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
Not great. I haven't read the Harry Potter books. And I've seen clips from the movies, but I haven't watched the movies. So this is going to be Tyler explains Harry Potter to Neil, and you guys are here for the ride. So when you said house, what does that mean?
So there are 4 houses at Hogwarts. Hogwarts is a school.
Oh, are you talking like Gryffindor and Slytherin and something else?
Yep, but the other 2.
I don't have no idea.
Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw.
Okay, I wouldn't have known either of those. You could have given me $1 million on this table and said, I would have.
This school was started 1,000 years ago by the 4 founders of Hogwarts. Salazar Slytherin.
So he's a house.
Yep. Okay. And then there is Godric Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, and Rowena Ravenclaw.
Are some of those bad and some of them good?
Salazar Slytherin had a break with the other 3 founders. And I think, one, they were upset because it's very like, I guess the best way to say it is it's not racist, but he wanted only people who came from 2 wizard parents. He didn't want a half-blood, which means that like you have a wizard parent and then like a muggle, which they call like
muggles are regular people.
Correct.
How does it weird? It's weird that I know these things, but I've never really seen
culture. It's laced throughout culture.
Okay. I gave 10 points of Gryffindor in our Bible study the other day. And I don't even know what it means.
I do that when I do teacher PDs. I say 10 points to Gryffindor.
I didn't know what it meant.
5 times.
Okay.
Per PD.
All right.
And then, anyways, so Salazar Slytherin. He wanted to all be pure. They call it pure bloods. It means that you only come from. Essentially it's racism, but for within the world of Harry Potter. So it's like just 2 2 whites. You got the whites together. You know what I mean? Like some racist dude, and that's essentially what he was. They call mudbloods is like a rude name for like someone that like Hermione. Her parents were both Muggles, but she exhibited.
So how does she?
He had magical in her she was born with magical powers.
Okay.
Not magical powers, but she was born like with the tendency to be able to perform magic. And Hogwarts recognizes that because,
So
magic.
you have to be born in one of the...
You have to have magical powers when you're born. Like, so they actually have something called a squib.
We're never even going to get to the intro music,
I'm
care.
so in love with this.
Actually, I don't think this
I would make this a 3-hour episode.
I'm
if you would
going
let
to
me.
ask a lot of questions.
I want you to. That would be the best because I didn't prepare anything.
Is Harry Potter, is he from Muggles or is he from...
So, oh gosh, are you serious?
So,
okay.
Are his parents real... Oh, wait.
I don't mean, are you serious? Like, do you not know? I mean, are you serious? Do you want me to tell you this much?
Hang on. So, wait, from what I know...
Should we do the intro music? I'm sorry.
You want to?
Yeah, let's intro music this.
You said was
Joseph Tilley is what we would call
one?
the chosen one.
Wow.
That's what they called Harry. Joseph would probably be Gryffindor, I would say.
10 points.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Tyler and Neil Explain Everything podcast. Now officially your 4th favorite podcast. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you go to patreon.com/explain everything to get exclusive episodes. Looks like we made it.
I feel like I made it.
All right, Neil, so please ask any question you want. I did not prepare anything. I literally thought, what is something I could talk about? Because, Neil used to, we were like 50-50. I'll prepare 3, Neil prepares 3, blah, blah, blah. Well, now, the past 2 to 3 months, it's been Neil prepares every single one. You're like, Neil's really giving the information. Tyler's just telling side stupid stories. It's because Neil's doing actual work.
It's because Neil needs to cook. That's why. We gotta cook.
Breaking Bad. That's solid. Yeah. Okay.
So I know of, I think I'm way off on this. From what I know of what I like seen in clips, things like that, Harry Potter's parents were like pretty famous, and I don't know if they were wizards or if they weren't wizards. The only phrase I know is "You're a wizard, Harry."
You're a wizard, Harry. Hagrid says that to him.
Okay,
that's when Harry finds out he's a wizard.
He's the big dude.
He's the big dude. Yeah, Robbie Coltrane, I think, acted him.
And he has a ride at.
Universal Studios. Fun. Have you ridden it?
No.
It's fun. It's really fun. Hagrid's motorbike.
You've been there, and you've been to the one where the giant dragon is up on top of the whatever, and it's shoots out flames.
So they have 2 locations at Universal that are Harry Potter themed.
Okay,
and one is like it's kind of like Hogwarts. You can see the castle, and then it's Hogsmeade, which is a town near Hogwarts that the kids get to go to once they become
they're like on
third
leave.
years. Once they become a 3rd year, they get to go there like on the weekends and like shop. There's like little shops and stuff. And Hogsmeade is like the area they recreated at Universal. And then you ride the Hogwarts Express, like a little train.
Oh yeah,
and then
that's the train that you see.
Exactly. And it goes at Universal, and it takes you to Diagon Alley, which is like it's like a downtown area for wizards. And that dragon you see in those photos, that's a dragon that's sitting on top of Gringotts, which is the wizard bank.
Okay, that's very detailed. So my experience with it has been what I've seen on people's Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But a guy that we know that lives back in Ohio, he took his family there, and they were standing outside waiting for the dragon. I guess it's like
blows fire every.
And he waited
30-40 minutes.
Okay, they waited for about 10 minutes and were furious. Like complained, made fun of it because it hadn't gone, and they left. And I was like, bro, like just be patient with it. It really it made me angry.
Well, that's on them.
And so we set him on fire.
Oh gosh. 10 points to Slytherin. That's the bad.
I don't know. Okay.
No witch or wizard. That was actually one of the mistakes she made in the books. There was a quote they said in the first few books called "No witch or wizard ever went bad that wasn't in Slytherin." Like essentially, like every bad wizard came out of that house.
So Slytherin is one of the houses, and it's bad.
Well, it's not bad. It's just so each of the houses have like a different like character trait that a lot of their people tend to like lean towards. Okay. So they have a thing called the sorting hat that you put on when you first go to Hogwarts. They put the sorting hat on. It like kind of goes through your brain, thinks. It's like, where would you fit in best? And it can hear your thoughts.
And it tells you which house you're in.
And then it shouts out what house you're going to go into.
It picks one for you.
Essentially, yes. But you always have a say in it. People don't tell you that, but like Harry figured out when he put it on that you always kind of have a say in it. Well, he figured out one of the books when he put it back on. And so Gryffindor, they're known for being brave. Like that's a bravery one.
Is Harry Potter in
Harry's
Gryffindor?
in Gryffindor.
Is that the color of this, like the orange and the yellow or the red and yellow?
It's
gold,
maroon and gold.
Okay.
It almost put him in Slytherin. So it was just debating between Gryffindor and Slytherin. And it's, one of the central themes of the whole thing is choice. So like I actually wrote like a blog post one time, and I think put it in my first book where it's like talks about the correlation between like the story of Christianity and Harry Potter. It's a lot of it is about choice.
Yeah,
and there's a very clear point I'll talk about in a second. But the hat put on there. He put the hat on when he first got there, and it was talking about Gryffindor, and he'd heard Slytherin was the house where the bad kids went. Essentially, bad people came out of there.
Okay,
Slytherin's not bad. It's ambitious. Okay, so you're very ambitious, and you know this. Anytime you get close to ambition or greed, it's very easy to be selfish
Tripped
or
up. Yeah.
to follow somebody who might be evil because you want that power. And then you've got Ravenclaw, which are like the smart kids. Like this is where the smart ones go.
Okay.
Is Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. It's
What
kind
are
of for the
they?
leftovers.
Okay.
I call it the leftover house. I was like, kids, I love you, but
What are the
we're not a
Weasleys in?
Hufflepuff's house. The Weasleys are all in Gryffindor.
Oh, okay.
And so, but Hufflepuff, no, there's nobody that matters in the books that's from
That's
Hufflepuff.
in Hufflepuff?
They're actually, their character trait is friendly. Like they're loyal and friendly.
Okay.
So
it's like a golden retriever.
Yeah, exactly. And their colors are gold. They're yellow.
Really?
It's yellow.
Okay.
But, anyways,
so Slytherin are the bad guys.
yeah. I said, well,
Ravenclaw are smart.
Ravenclaw are smart, Gryffindor are brave, and Hufflepuff are the rest.
Okay. Everybody else. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good.
And so, but
I didn't
Hufflepuff
know.
in that game that just came on the TV show, it was Hufflepuff versus Gryffindor, and Hufflepuff won. So they moved to the next round.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only other things that I know is that I think he has real muggles are real people that don't have magical powers.
Correct.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
And he has like a real family full of muggles that adopted him.
Yeah, there's aunt and uncle. So,
But they're mean to him.
yeah, well, there's some theories on that. So, I mean, that's the thing. Once all the books came out, this was one of the first things I got into that had like a big internet culture. And so when I was growing up, I read the first book when I was in 9th grade, and she had come out with 3 of them. Okay. And they were still kind of like under the radar. And so I read those. And then, after that, like I was at the midnight release party for the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th book.
Oh
They
my
used to do
gosh.
at like Hastings,
For the book.
rest in peace, rest in peace. They used to do Hastings. They would do midnight release parties. They'd stay open until midnight. And you could like, go around, they had activities and stuff. It's a lot more, it was harder to be a Harry Potter like fan then. Now there's like Harry Potter shirts, there's merch, there's all this. Like they had nothing that you could do except for like the books and then some like random weird crummy stuff that they
So when the
produced.
movies came out, that was a huge
Oh, it was
deal.
big. It became more mainstream because like a lot of people can't read. We know that. I mean, you've talked to people before, right?
Bunch of Hufflepuffs.
That's their truth. And they're going to do their own. They can't read and they barely pass biology, but they're going to do their own research.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, we did midnight release parties for all those, and I was really involved with like the online culture of it. Like people would create websites like Angel Fire. You remember Angel Fire?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you could create your own website. And they would essentially make a house and you could like go in and you take a little quiz and people would put you in houses. The first website I ever made, I don't know if I ever told you this. First website I ever made was a Harry Potter fan site.
No.
I made it in like 10th grade. And I made a website and people would go in, they take a
Angel
quiz.
Fire?
I think so. And they could go in. I mean, what were my options then?
I didn't know this.
And they would go in and they would join the houses. And then, I was in a couple houses and my I had a code name that I would use. I don't want to give like Tyler Tarver. My code name is, I've never told him about this. This is so dorky. It was Mickey Baxley. Because Mickey Mantle, I like Mickey Mantle, the baseball player, and one of my best friends' name was Matt Baxley. And so,
Mickey Baxley?
Mickey Baxley. It was like a code name. I thought it sounded cool.
Man.
Matt, if you're listening, if you have another kid,
Hey.
Mickey's available. We're battery's about to die on our camera, but it's whatever. Nobody watches the video.
It's okay.
Nobody cares about the YouTubes. So anyways, I had that. And then you remember chat rooms? Remember when chat rooms were a thing?
Oh gosh, yeah.
So I was in a chat room about Harry Potter and we're all talking about it, like quiz. What do y'all think's going to happen in the 5th book? They said somebody important's going to die.
How often was she releasing these books?
I mean, it was every, 2 to 4 years. And so, 2007.
That's a long time.
2007, July 2007, July 21st, 2007 was when the last book came out. I had been married for 2 weeks. And Amanda's one of her best friends, she was in her wedding and she was getting married that day. So I told him, I said, I'm going to the midnight release. I'm going to get the book at midnight.
Yeah.
I got it at midnight. I read it till 8 a.m. I took a 2-hour nap. I read it. Like there's a photo of me sitting there while they're doing bridesmaids photos. I'm sitting in the corner reading the 8th book because you have to read it because somebody's going to spoil it for you.
Right. So it's the same thing as like a spoiler.
Yes. The big thing with the 7th book was, is Harry going to die? Like you didn't know if Harry was going to die or not.
It was headed that way.
Yeah. You were like, I mean, there was like 50-50 shot. You had no idea if your main character, because she had killed off some people loved earlier than that. Like every book, somebody big had died, like starting at the 4th one. Somebody minor died in the 4th, and 5th to somebody big. That was the big one. Like, who's going to die? Who's going to die? My buddy spoiled it for me. He flipped to the end. He didn't care about Harry Potter. Me and my other friends are reading. They flipped to the end because they knew somebody was going to die, and they just like hinted towards who it was, so we knew. Anyway, so I'm trying to read it. Somebody at the wedding reception, I had maybe like 3 chapters. Like, I don't know, it was right there at the end, maybe 2 hours left of reading because it's a big book. And I'm at the reception, And somebody walked up and I was like, yeah, I'm reading it right now. And then she's like, oh yeah, can't believe that Harry died. I'm like, are you serious? And then she was like, no, I'm just kidding. I go, I need to know if you're serious. Cause if not, I'm like going to hold her down in the punch bowl until she stops breathing. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I mean, I would not murder someone probably.
No.
But if
maybe
I told Amanda, I go, Amanda, this is terrible. I'm going to go be at this relationship because she doesn't care about it. She's like, it's stupid. My child, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm like, she was first married. She didn't understand. I'm always right. And
she'll learn.
Yeah, she'll learn. I was like, I'm going to stop talking. And I said, I've known these people that we're going to the wedding for 6 months. Or I said, for a year. I've known Harry Potter.
Right.
For
way longer.
For 7 years.
What's so wild about this is, okay, what you're talking about is the same thing that people do with binge watching and shows. Now, people when Stranger Things comes out, people sit there and watch it because they don't want to get spoiled. I didn't realize that there was actually a book culture of that. Is there any other book series that has that kind of a fan following? I guess the first few things I've ever seen of Harry Potter were those book release like parties at bookstores and all that kind of stuff, Barnes and Nobles, whatever. People were there. I just didn't realize it was that big of a deal.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was a big gathering of like people. Like I remember I had an Abercrombie shirt that looked like Gryffindor. It was like a rugby shirt.
Yeah.
I got my Gryffindor shirt and I would wear it to like the releases and stuff. Super dorky.
It's like a movie.
It was
premiere.
its own thing. It was essentially like a movie premiere for books. I'm trying to think of when I've seen it again.
I've never
Hunger
seen
Games, I think had that a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't like Lord of the Rings, stuff like that's really popular that had big movies.
Forever.
But that was 60 years ago.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that book has already been done. I think Twilight was the closest. Twilight and Hunger Games are the closest I've seen, since I've been, come self-aware like a robot.
Because AI.
That was the closest to it. But I mean, that's the thing. I'm trying to think. There was Dark Tower series never had like the huge cultural following.
No.
I think there was a huge amp in like the merch and popularity and the money behind it once the movies came out. Because I mean, that's the thing. Books, you can make a lot of money, but movies are like $1 billion.
The merchandising and everything else goes. So was there merchandising before the movies hit? Could you go get Gryffindor?
Well, there was only one
scarf.
No, well, you could. It was at Abercrombie, and it was not branded. I'm dead serious. I would buy clothes from Abercrombie and Fitch that looked like they were from Gryffindor.
It'd be like amazing. 10th, 11th grade. I wonder if they knew that.
I don't care what they think. I'm not looking at that dude's abs when I walk in. I'm going straight to the sale rack because I can't afford anything else.
That's the only thing I can afford.
That's all I can afford. So Walmart was the first one. Walmart had, I remember it was a yellow shirt. But the thing was, like, the movies hadn't come out yet, so it wasn't like Daniel Radcliffe from the movies. It was like a picture of him like playing Quidditch.
That was
on the front, exactly, and that's what they based it on. It was on a T-shirt, and I bought it, but it was like only kid sizes. So I was wearing this like super tight yellow shirt, and that was the first piece of merch I bought. And then they had a couple like random keychains, but like there was just nothing. And then they had like a couple watches that came out. So like it was just like random stuff that was like based. The look was all based around the color, the cover of the book. And so like, why do they come out with, stuff after movies? Well, because you have a visual to go with it. Right. If not, you're trying to tell people what they should imagine that universe looks like.
Yeah.
And especially in a world where you're creating it like
that's
that.
the wild thing about the movies. This is why I love reading books. Sometimes it ruins the book, ruins the movie. You're like, because in the book, it was more fantastic. It looked different.
It looks a certain way.
Right. So
before we move on, because I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
But that's the thing too. So when you're reading the book, so the main characters, Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Okay.
Right.
When you're reading books, okay. In the Bible, it's Esau.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Sue.
Yeah.
I thought how you said it until I said it out loud and somebody made fun of me. I thought I'm talking literal years, I pronounced it Hermione is how I said her name.
Oh, wow.
Now, because like this is pre-internet, so like J.K. Rowling's not on interviews, like it was a book, you don't just go
this
see
is
it.
Pre-internet.
This is pre, like this Ask Jeeves, like this is how much the internet was, and so we're sitting there and it's pre-YouTube, pre-video, like video was not a thing on the internet back then. Like you would have to see it on the actual TV, and unless she's talking about her characters, you don't know. And so Vidler indeed, Flickster. No, that's an app. What am I thinking of? Flickr. What's the thing that Flickr that wasn't
Flickr?
It's tried to be Instagram, but it wasn't.
Right, yeah.
Yahoo bought it. Stream of good decisions.
Oh my gosh.
Yahoo. Anyways, and then like the way that you correct things before that internet culture, now she can just come on Twitter and be like, hey, this is how you say it.
Yeah.
This is how you say her name. In the 4th book,
wow,
they had these other schools come in and compete in a tournament. And one of this guy from like, I think he was from like Romania or something, started like dating Hermione. She like had a scene in the book where she is trying to teach him how to say her name correctly. And so you see her write out. I know she did that
because people
were saying Hermione. They didn't know how to say her name.
Wow.
And so like
she's learning, and then 4 books into it, she's figured it out.
By the way, before you ask your next question, the real hero of the series is not Harry Potter. I say this whenever I do, like when I do my baller teacher talk for schools.
Yeah.
I have like a competition we do, and there's a thing where you pick between Harry and Ron. I always say this, like disclaimer, Harry's not the hero of the series.
Who is?
Hermione is the hero of the series.
Really?
She is far and away the smartest person in all of the series. Harry would have died 80 times if it wasn't
for the friends around her.
If it wasn't for, the friends around him, but mainly her. Like she is the one. Like he would have gotten out of the first, like, thing in the first.
Is she smarter?
Yes, she's smarter. She works harder. All around
she's
better.
She's the Tim Tebow of like, she's not really super talented, but works really hard.
She's also very smart. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well,
I don't know if he's known for
not Timmy.
Not Timmy.
That's okay. So
she's the guy from Armageddon. Whenever Tommy Lee Jones goes, is it Tommy Lee? No, Billy Bob Thornton.
Tommy Lee.
Sorry, he keeps popping
Armageddon.
in.
Yes.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton goes, he's pretty much the smartest man on the earth. You might listen to him.
Yeah,
she's that guy.
That's okay.
It's like firework in your hand versus on your hand. You know what I mean? Your wife's opening your ketchup bottles the rest of your life. You know what I mean? That's who she is. I'm sorry.
So I didn't know that. Like I would go into it thinking, he's the main hero of the water. But okay, the clips.
He is the main hero. It's literally Harry Potter and are the titles to everything. So he's the hero. I'm just saying Hermione deserves more credit than she gets.
Okay.
# women.
I remember. So we did a video back in student ministry. This is way back. This is 2007. And we did something that was, when did that last book come out?
2007. July 21st.
Oh wow. Okay. So it was in the fall. I think it would have been October. Let's call it October. I won't say the name of the people that were in this video. We did a sketch comedy, and in it we spoiled something about somebody getting married in the movie, like who gets married to who. And I was like, I didn't understand why it was that big of a deal, but people, so it's like
people were mad.
We had a writer's room and we agreed on this thing. And it's like, okay, I don't know enough about that, but if you say that that's good, we'll put that in there and you see how the audience responds. And they did, they went nuts. And I was like, oh wow, that must be a big deal. And I didn't know. I didn't realize that was like people getting married in this, because if they start off as little kids and they're growing up, how old are they? How old do you think they are when they're in this?
In the movie?
In the books.
The books?
Yeah.
It starts when he's 11. So when you turn 11, you get your letter from Hogwarts if you're in or not. And so
that's when he starts off really young.
Yeah. So the best way to
Radcliffe is like,
oh yeah. They grew up with the movies. So
that's a good way to do it though. Okay.
They'd have to fake it. It's not like in Smallville when he's 25 when he's supposed to be a 9th grader.
Yeah.
Tom Welling. So the best way to remember it is like there's 7 books. So he goes through 7 years of school. First year, you think of 11, it's a 1-1. Second year, 1-2. Third year, 1-3. He's 13, 14, 15.
Oh.
So he's 17 in the last one because it goes up a year every year. So each one follows a year of his life.
Okay.
So, or actually, it's actually a school year.
What I have seen of the movies is I've told Cassidy this. She had it on TV. Where can you watch it?
It's
is
Warner
it HBO
Brothers.
Max?
It might
Warner
be
Brothers
HBO Max.
is HBO Max.
Yeah, I know YouTube TV. I've probably got them all saved.
Okay,
so
she had one of them on the other day, and I said, maybe 5 minutes. What I didn't understand about it is, it all seems like, am I supposed to be scared by this, or am I supposed to be like, wow, this is just like an adventure in a fantasy land or whatever? It always felt to me like I can't tell who's a good guy and a bad guy.
Yeah,
just because I don't know any of the context. I was like, well, are they good? She's like, no, this teacher is like really supposed to be doing this other thing, but they're helping Harry do this thing, and they're not supposed to. It's like, I don't know.
Has she read all of them?
She is,
because I don't want to spoil all the movies. She's listening.
She's watched the movies and she's seen. I think she's.
If she's watched all the movies, it's fine. She knows the gist of it.
Yes,
okay,
she's reading now.
So there are characters that are very nuanced. There's characters who think, oh, they're just a mean person, but they're not a bad person. Then there's some books where it's like, okay, they might be the bad guy. Like one of his teachers in the first book, like he's really mean to Harry. And you think, okay, he doesn't like Harry because
why? Because he's trying to make it better, or
no,
because he's just mean.
Well, he doesn't like Harry. You don't. I mean, this is you learn throughout the series of books. You think that he doesn't like him because Harry. The reason he became famous is because when he was 1, Voldemort, he who must not be named.
Right.
He Ralph Fiennes. Yeah, he broke into his house. They don't know why he wanted to kill Harry when Harry was 1. It's like he was a bad guy, but why would you want to kill this 1-year-old? Turns out it was a prophecy that said that this one would defeat the Dark Lord.
Okay.
And so he went in and killed Harry's parents. And then he tried to kill Harry. And this dude, like, nobody could beat him. Like, nobody could beat him. And
so he killed Harry's parents?
He killed Harry's parents because he wanted to kill Harry.
Okay.
And he even says, like, one of the mysteries is he's like, your mother didn't have to die. And then it's like, well, why didn't she? And it became a whole thing. But he goes in and he tries to kill Harry. And then he ends up like dying. Well, dying.
Voldemort does?
Yeah, Voldemort, they think he died. They defeated the Dark Lord as a 1-year-old. And so they think, well, he's got to be the greatest wizard ever. He's got such powerful magic.
Is that how he got the scar?
Yes.
From that fight?
From the spell that the Dark Lord cast on him. Yeah.
Okay.
The Dark Lord.
Okay.
That Voldemort cast on him.
So
and then Voldemort comes back in the 4th one.
All right.
A lot of spoilers in here. Sorry.
Yeah. So there is a lot of pressure on Harry because if he is supposed to be that guy,
but he had no idea until he got that letter. He did not even know wizards existed because when he was 1, that happened. His parents died. Dumbledore, which is like the headmaster of the school.
He's played by 2 different actors though, right?
Yes. He died after the 2nd movie, after the Chris Columbus movie. And the 3rd one, he came in. I wasn't, the first one seemed like he didn't know where he was most of the time. He was too chill. And the 3rd one was too aggressive. Like there's a famous scene from the 4th book, whatever, where in the book, like Harry's name gets put in the Goblet of Fire and he wasn't supposed to because he was too young. And Harry's like baffled. He's like, I didn't put my name in there. And like his friends are mad because they think he went behind their back. And he's in there and they take him into another room where they took the people that are going to compete. And Harry's just like confused because like, why did my name get in there? Why did my name come out of the Goblet of Fire? And Dumbledore in the book, it says Dumbledore calmly walks up and goes, Harry, did you put your name in the goblet? He said, no, sir. And then you could see Dumbledore just like trust. It's a big thing where he sees like, I trust Harry's word. I know he would not lie to me.
Okay.
And so he moves on and just, it becomes, you tell me one time, Harry, it's a big thing in the book. It's small, but it's a big thing in the books. And in the movie, that actor like rushes in and grabs him and goes, Harry, did you put your name in the goblet? Like shakes him.
Way too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
And it's like, chill, bro. And it's like, it changed that dynamic. And you could tell it's like, it's an actor that wasn't really invested in the series.
I wonder if they read all of them.
It was a payday. You know what I mean? And he went in and he thought this is acting. I'm going to act, whatever.
Yeah.
But whatever. Who cares? What was I talking about?
What is the okay, so he starts off, he goes to school. They have to go to school. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. He doesn't. I'm going to finish that train of thought. So, Voldemort disappears. And so they think, oh, he's defeated, blah, blah, blah. Well, they get Harry, he's a baby and like, what do we do with him? Well, Dumbledore was trying to do the right thing, but also worried because Harry's instantly famous. Instantly. They call him the boy who lived, the chosen one. Like he has all these nicknames, like, and he has never done anything. He's like, that would be too much pressure for anybody to live up to. So his aunt and uncle, his mom's sister and her husband, they have a little boy named Dudley and around Harry's age.
Oh, this is the brother and sister of the, oh, wow.
Yes.
The ones that got killed.
Yes. It's the sister's sister, his Aunt Petunia. And they go live with them on number 4 Privet Drive.
No.
Yeah. She's a little spot on with some of the naming of stuff. But it's whatever. And so he lives with them. Well, they're awful. They're awful. They hate the wizarding world. They never tell Harry about it. They say that his parents died in a car crash. They don't even give him his own room. Literally, his cousin gets his own room, and then he has another room that he has for toys. And then Harry lives in a cupboard under the stairs. You probably heard that.
No, I've never.
They make him live in a cupboard under the stairs.
Oh, dang.
Until he's like 11.
That's a little Cinderella-ish.
It's exactly yes.
Okay.
And then he gets the letter, and then he goes to the school, and the reason is one of the other reasons was because anyway, there's so much depth to
okay, let's say she's writing book 1. Mm-hmm. Does she have in her mind this is going to be how many books? 7 or 8?
7.
Does she know this is where it was headed, or does she stretch it out?
I think she had the general idea. There's certain themes like that you were like, I think she was going this way, and then she pivoted around here, and then she said she had a general idea of where she was going. She did say this. She said she had the last word of the last chapter already written after I think it was like, I got into it in the 3rd book.
No
so by
way.
then I was like, researching it.
You're hooked.
And she had the last chapter. She knew how it was going to end. She just didn't know the exact path to get there. And there was like a couple little like minor mistakes because it's been, dissected by
Right.
Tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
That's not people who've read it, but that's how many people have like legit gone in. But I don't know. That
so
number.
the general story arc is he goes to school. Mm-hmm. Is it like college or is it like a private boarding school?
It's like a boarding school.
Okay.
Yeah, you go and then you get
they
to go
ship
home
him off on this train, and he goes there. And does he get to come back home, or is that home for him?
Yeah, it's his home. And he could come back on Christmas and Thanksgiving. He never does because he doesn't like
his parents.
But he has to.
Does everybody else
on
leave?
The summers? Yeah, most people do. Every now and then, some of his friends will stay around with him.
It always seems like a winter movie to me.
Yeah, they do a lot. There's always something big that happens around Christmassy time.
Okay.
And so like she always does things that happen around that time. And like there's the winter ball that happens in the fourth one. And there's different things that happen throughout.
So they leave and come back every year?
Yeah, they leave and come back. And he goes home to live with those aunt and uncle. And the reason is, and you don't find this out, till later in the books, but the reason that Harry didn't die is because his mom didn't have to die. And she said, no, take me instead. She sacrificed herself for him, which was like an older type of magic that put a protection on him to where Voldemort couldn't kill him. Like essentially she sacrificed herself. She sacrificed herself.
Yeah. Oh, that's what that is for?
That's not what it's from.
Okay.
That's actually from the end of the first one. But it puts a protection on him where Voldemort can't touch him. And when Voldemort goes to do the killing curse on him, Avada Kedavra, which sounds like abracadabra, Avada Kedavra, which you can't block, you can't defend, you will die if someone does that at you. It bounces off of him and hits Voldemort. And it can't kill Voldemort because he's done Horcruxes, which you don't learn about until later. But so Voldemort's like destroyed, but
those giant big black things that like float around.
Yes, no, that's a Dementor.
Dementors.
And Dementors. Okay. What's the scariest thing about prison? The Dementors. That's my favorite part of the whole series.
A lot of what I know about this has actually come from
pop culture. Yeah. It's great. That's in the amazing. Third one. They guard the wizard prison and they suck the soul out of their
They look
people.
bad.
They're very bad, but they use them to guard the prison because people can't get through them pretty much. Well, they can actually. There's a spell. It's very easy. Like Harry did it in his third year. So it's like, wow, I think you could get better protection.
How long do they go? How long are they in school? How many years?
7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but Harry drops out after 6th.
Really?
Yeah, because he has to go hunt down the Horcruxes and kill them because you can't kill Voldemort. Because what you do when you make a Horcrux, and this is kind of like the big dark magic that they have to overcome in the last book, you can split off, like if you, my camera died. If you split off part of, like if you kill someone, you can split off part of their soul and you can like put part of your soul in something else, like an object. And you do that so that you can't kill somebody. Like Voldemort did that. He split off parts of his soul, which made him more and more evil, and that's why he looks that way. He looks like that snake looking, like a grown up snake. And it's because he split off parts of his soul and put them in these different objects. And Harry has to go hunt those objects down, figure out what they are, hunt them down, and then destroy them. And then at the end, he can go try to kill Voldemort. So, can I put a battery in it while we talk?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go for it. So no, I can do it. The thing that I didn't realize is that this is ultimately going toward that big battle between Voldemort and Harry at the end. Is he allowed to have help at the end?
What do you mean?
Like help from his friends in the fight against?
Yeah, I mean they call it the Battle of Hogwarts. So
the Battle of Hogwarts.
Is this bad audio?
No, that's okay. It's okay. So I didn't know that it was like I didn't know it was that much schooling. It's honestly from the outside looking in, it looks like, hey, they go to school and the entire thing is like, it's like Bayside High and they're in school all the time. I didn't realize that they progress or that they are able to move out. My question is if he doesn't want to go back with his aunt and uncle, which is so weird, because he doesn't want to be around them. Do his other friends does Hermione and is it Ron Weasley? Ron Weasley. Does Ron and Hermione, everybody else, did they leave and go back to their home?
Yes, in the summer.
Yeah. Okay, so they go back.
There's some winters they'll go home, but most of the time they stay with Harry because if not, he's by himself.
So they do it because they have good relationship with their parents.
Yeah, they like their parents, and Hermione's parents are Muggles,
but they're
dentists,
and they're okay with her being a wizard.
Yeah. I mean, they want her to. Yeah.
So in the real world, do Muggles even know that wizards exist?
No, and that's part of why the wizards keep it secret.
Muggles, how do they know?
They're cool with it. Well, she got a letter and explained it all, and then they let her go to the school, and so.
So if I got a letter, it's okay.
You're good.
I didn't know.
Because then it'll explain it. And you'll be like, oh, I'm a wizard, Harry.
And then they get on this train that goes into like another dimension?
Nope. It goes out into like this like field. And
isn't there like a train station? It's like a magical train station.
Well, it's platform 9 3/4. Yes. So you go through this like column in the middle between 9 and 10 at some station in London. And
is it a real station?
Yeah. And
I bet that is.
I bet you they have a 9 3/4 sign somewhere. I would bet.
Yeah.
And so you go through that wall, magic, and then enters that secret train station, and then the train travels for a long time and goes out into this like it's the middle of this field, like this like. Out in the middle of nowhere, essentially.
Bridge.
And you're like, well, wouldn't people see it? There's magic. They put magical protection over it so muggles can't see it.
Okay.
And they don't know it's there.
So it's a real place in the real world that muggles can't see.
Yes. And they can't go. And you're like, what if they wandered up on it? They put spells on it. So like if a muggle wanders into it, they suddenly remember they forgot something at their house. And so now they turn around and go home.
I forgot my key spell.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Did they ever really talk about that?
They mention it just so like it explains.
Because I would be like, so can you see it from the air? Is it Area 51-ish? Is it like all that? You know what I mean?
It's the only 3 things you can see from space.
Okay.
Truman Show, the Great Wall of China, and this.
And that.
Yeah.
Okay. So wild.
You asked a second ago, why does he keep going home to live with his aunt and uncle if he doesn't like him so much? So the reason is because when his mom, that spell reflected off of her, or reflected off of him because of his mom's sacrifice spell, what that did was it put, like with that old magic, it put like a protection spell. As long as he's with his family, Voldemort can't get in there. Essentially, it's like that spell for Muggles. It's like that for Voldemort. He cannot go in.
So
he can't attack him.
Family.
He cannot hurt it because they are his family. And that's one of the reasons Dumbledore let him go live, because it protects him. And so every summer he's protected. He could be there and you think, well, he's with Muggles. Voldemort could take him out. No, because of that magic.
So, Is the magic stronger when he's with his family?
I mean, it is that strong magic. I mean, that's the ultimate magic is sacrificial magic. It's like sacrifice. Like that's the big thing behind it. It's the sacrifice.
Okay.
Will you sacrifice yourself for others?
So there are a couple of I know that Quidditch is like a game where you ride broomsticks around.
It's actually a real game people play in real life now. It's like an intramural
I've seen people do it. They're running around like on a broomstick.
Yeah.
On a broom.
It's pretty intense. They have like a world.
You have to catch a ball and throw it through.
They have 3 hoops on each side, guarded by a keeper, like a goalie.
Okay.
And then they have the quaffle, which is the ball, and it's a big ball.
Isn't it flying? It doesn't have wings?
No, it just flies from magic. Now, that's the big ball. You get 10 points every time you score it in a hoop. Okay. So it's like scoring basketball.
Okay.
You get 10 points. So the whole time that's happening. Then you have another ball called a bludger, which essentially just tries to take people out. It just tries to knock you. It's trying to hit everybody,
knock you off your broom.
And each team has 2. They have 3 chasers, which are the ones that try to throw the quaffle through the hoop. They're trying to score.
Okay.
Keeper tries to protect the goal. They got I'm sorry. You've got there's 3 things I know about.
This is a real game
in Harry Potter. I'm not explaining how they can't really fly in real life. But then you have the 2.
I wish they could.
They have 2 guys. They carry a club and they're called beaters. And what they do is they try to hit the bludger away from their team at the other team. So you're essentially trying to make this ball attack the other team.
Oh.
And then you have one, which is what Harry is. He is called a seeker. And
he's trying to go get
his goal is trying to get that flying one with the wings called the golden snitch.
Okay.
If whoever catches that ends the game immediately, and that team gets 150 points. You're like, that's a lot of points. I don't think J.K. Rowling played a lot of sports.
No,
she doesn't understand that. Like, oh wow, if you catch that and you're not 150 points, 15 goals ahead, you lose. And it's like, I feel like it should have been maybe 50. Like that makes more sense, but you know what? It's her story.
Okay, that's the thing.
That's her truth.
I know that. I know some of the names of some of the books. Do all the books? Cassidy's version of them, the 7 books, and you line them all up, it's one continuous. It's like a giant snake that goes through the whole thing.
Really?
And then all the pictures connect.
I didn't know that.
I don't know what hers. They're all paperback. She got them from Roman. I know about that, and I know there's somebody named Dobby who's like a little
house elf.
Whatever. He's a house elf.
Yeah.
Is he a good guy?
Yeah.
Okay, because he is like so sad. There's like that Dobby. I've seen so many TikToks and things like that of them going back and forth between that.
Yeah, with Dobby dying.
Dobby dies.
Yeah, he dies. Sacrifice himself for Harry. That's big theme of the book. Like I said, it relates to Christianity a ton. But yeah, he sacrificed himself for Harry.
Okay, so did that help protate him?
I got him out because Harry was. They had in the 7th one when they're trying to hunt down the Horcruxes, they get captured by. They call them the Death Eaters. They all work. They're Voldemort's henchmen. They get captured by the Death Eaters.
Okay.
And they're being held down in their little dungeon area.
Okay.
And they don't know it's Harry because Hermione, who is the best, did a spell right before they got captured that distorted his face, and so they think it's Harry, but they can't tell. And they had changed what Ron looked like too. No. Yeah, I think they changed what Ron looked like. I don't know if they did or not. I can't remember. Gosh, I can't believe I can't remember that. Anyways,
I can't believe how dare you.
I
Oh
know.
my gosh. This is unbelievable.
No, they didn't distort what Ron looked like. They distorted what Harry looked like.
So they're confused and they attacked him?
Yes.
Oh.
No. They were attacking. They were trying to catch them. And then right before they caught him, Hermione was smart, distorted his face, because if they knew they had Harry, they're calling Voldemort. He's going to come. He's going to kill Harry.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Okay.
And so they do that. And his Death Eaters, no, they can't just like call Voldemort. Hey, Voldy, I think it might be Harry.
Right.
Because if they're wrong, he'll probably kill one of them. Like he's super evil. He'll kill his own people. He don't care. No hair, don't care.
Oh my.
No nose, don't care.
He doesn't. He's not a
nice guy.
For.
They make him really evil. And so when you talk about it, it's supposed to be earlier. You said, is it supposed to be adventure? Is it supposed to be scary? It depends on who's involved. The fourth book is where it gets real.
Okay.
Stuff gets real because Voldemort comes back. It's not a child's game anymore.
Okay. It was all learning and fun and games up until that point.
Yes.
And then after that. Okay.
And then Voldemort's, going ham on people.
Okay.
And so
there's another book, Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
That it came out after. Is it because she
The
wanted to
movies came out
continue
after.
writing?
Well, that was more than she didn't come out with a book called Fantastic Beasts. The movies came out. So
what
Fantastic
are they
Beasts is actually the name of a school book that Harry and them have to get when they're in school. They're learning about different creatures and stuff. And it's like, I think actually the book's called like Magical Beasts or something. I don't know what it's called, but maybe it is called Fantastic Beasts. Newt Scamander is the author. Well, he's the main character in the movie. So they essentially took some rando textbook mentioning
and made another
and made an
did
entire
she do it,
series
or did
out of
somebody
it.
else do it?
I think she helps advise on it, but I don't think she writes the script.
Okay,
She
'cause
may have
they're
helped
not
write the
as-
script. The movie, the second one did not do well. Because it was, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of it. It's the only movie I haven't let Titus watch because it does get a little bit darker. Like some people die, just a lot of people die. And it's not, I don't know. A lot of people die in all of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but some of them.
So the only reason why I know about those is Johnny Depp was in the second
He got
one,
pulled.
and he's not. It's now
He was going to be Gillette
Mads
Grindelwald.
Milkins.
Madam Milkins.
He's doing that, and
What?
the guy's name? His name is Mad. He was the bad guy in Casino Royale.
Oh yes, he's good.
So he's in this. He's taking over Johnny Depp's spot, which I don't know anything about it. That's the only reason why I know.
I'm so excited that I'm kind of glad because the first one I was okay with. I was like, oh, it's fine. And then the second one, I was like, I'm kind of glad it did poorly because they're going to make up for it. Like they're going to figure out the story.
How many movies do you think they're going to make?
I think they had actually signed up for like 5. They had signed on to do 5.
Okay.
Like they want to make it a series, and they've got a game coming out on some platform, some game station I don't have because I don't play video games anymore. But they have a game coming out, and it looks incredible. Where you go into the world and you're like going around like a real play.
Yeah. Oh,
yes,
okay.
it looks amazing. Like it makes me want to buy the console just to play that game.
No way.
It looks amazing.
All right. I didn't know if she's still planning to ever do any, because it gets really, really tricky when you had all that success and then.
Well, there's been talks that
search
she's
for
going to do
money.
another one. And, they'd come out with The Cursed Child. It's a play. And she wrote the book that goes with the play. And it takes place. It's about Harry's son at school.
Oh, interesting.
It was okay.
You saw it on Broadway?
No, I wish. It was like, it's a 2-night play.
Real?
I wanted to see it whenever we went to New York last, week or two ago.
Yeah.
And
where can you see it?
Yeah, they got it playing at different locations, like in New York.
It's a 2-night.
Yeah. It started in London, but it's a 2-night play because, it's a whole book you're going
Well, I
through.
bet that thing makes a ton of money.
I love it. The book was, I say I love it. I want to see it.
So she wrote the book called The Cursed Child?
I think so. I'm pretty sure she did. Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if she has plans to make more.
The rumor is that she's supposed to do another
she's
book.
done it under an 8, hasn't she?
Robert Galbraith, but that was for the Cormoran Strike series.
I don't know what that is.
Remember we talked about it? It was a book that I read in our How to Write a Book series. I
yeah.
remember everything you've ever said to me, and you don't even care about me.
I do remember that.
Yeah, it's her pseudonym.
She does that. Why? Because there's so much hype around.
Yeah.
The pressure.
Yeah, there's so much pressure. Like she came out with a book called Casual Vacancy, I think, was her first non-Harry Potter book, and it had so much pressure on it. And it's like this allowed her to write under something else.
Okay.
Yeah. You know why she goes by J.K. Rowling?
What? Is that not her name?
It is, but it's her initials. Her name's Jo.
Oh.
Is her first name.
Okay.
But she goes by J.K. Rowling because she sent the manuscript for Harry Potter off to publishers and it got rejected so many times.
Why?
And she thought it was because she's a woman author writing about a boy. And so she went J.K. because it got accepted.
No.
And then whoever accepted it is probably retired.
Oh my gosh. The amount of money.
That person
That's
made
crazy.
because they said yes to the greatest book series of our generation.
So I'm going to watch the movies. But
read the books.
Read the books first?
Yeah. If you need to
Can I do audiobook them?
Yeah. Jim Dale. Do the Jim Dale version. Stephen Merchant, I think, is the other guy. Do Jim Dale. He's amazing.
Okay.
I used to listen to it in college all the time.
So for some reason, my favorite audiobooks to do are fictional.
Yeah. It's good because they do the characters.
Yes.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Do Jim Dale.
Okay. All right.
I read the first book. I have it on audiobook. I read it when I was reading it to Titus.
You read it out loud?
I read it out loud and recorded it. I don't know where I put it.
No way.
I was going to do all of them, but then Titus, he got impatient. He was like 6 and he read the rest of them. It's insane.
That's amazing.
He's really smart.
So those books are very, very binge reading.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, it's like a mystery. They're essentially like kids' mystery novels.
Yeah.
Because you're reading it. Like when I first got it, my Aunt Sissy, what's her name? Aunt Sissy. She got it for me in 9th grade and I read it and I started reading it. I read like 2 or 3 chapters. And I was like, this is a little kid's book. I'm not reading this. Then my buddy, Matt Baxley, he was like, no, bro. I was like, I'm not going to read it. Like, I know who the bad guy is. It's already hinted towards it. Like, it's a little kid's book. I know who it is. He goes, dude, just finish the book. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming. Little twist ending. Yeah. And then she does that at all of them. It's like, has these slow arcs. And then about the 4th one, she starts this long arc. And then she actually stretched it. So, you know, she made it reach back to what happened earlier.
So you're finding out how we got there.
She reaches back essentially to the 2nd book.
Okay.
For this longer arc.
I love. Well,
she's
I've always been curious. I didn't know is that. I'll read.
Why don't you read them and then we'll come back and do this again? We'll do a follow-up episode as soon as you finish reading it.
I would do that. Okay.
That'd be dope.
There's no way to do a 3v3 on this.
Yes, there is.
There is?
Yeah. Let's pick 3 characters. Okay. You pick 3 characters off Google.
I don't know.
Google it. Okay. Google Harry Potter characters. I'll pick 3. You pick 3.
Here we go.
Welcome to the party, pal. This is 3v3.
Okay, so this is how I think we do it.
Okay.
We'll do a draft and it's going to be a fight and then I'll tell who would win. Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you go first because
you're going to tell me who wins?
Well, yes, because I'll analyze. I mean, if you get first pick,
I won't know.
There's some powerful people, and it's like essentially a 3-on-3 battle royale. What is your team? And we'll see.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you go first.
All right. I'm gonna go with Bellatrix Lestrange.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
She's a bad guy.
I know who played her. Oh, she's a bad guy.
Actually, it turns out she, according to this cursed child, she had a kid. Spoiler alert. She had a kid with one of the bad guys.
For real?
Yeah, we don't know about it. But she's a Death Eater. She's really bad.
She's a Death Eater.
She's bad. She's a bad person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she kills that's Harry's godfather.
That's not good.
Who is also her cousin. Okay, so my first pick will be Albus Dumbledore.
Oh, because he's like the OG.
He's OG. Yeah, he's one of the most powerful wizards.
That's the guy that had the
he's bad at bone.
Like he is. Wait. Jude Law plays him in Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
Okay. Young Dumbledore.
Does a good job. I wish Jude Law would have played him in the old versions.
Yeah, he does. He's subtle. He plays it. He probably read the books.
It's like a British Matthew McConaughey.
He totally is. Who's also not running for governor of Texas, by the way.
Oh, he'd be great.
I would say Argus Filch. Have I picked a good one?
No, he's a squib.
What does squib mean? I don't know what squib is.
You had wizard parents, but you have no magical powers. So now he is the caretaker.
Oh, he's the worst.
Yeah, he's
picked the worst guy.
He's absolutely the worst you could have chosen.
No.
I mean, okay.
Okay,
well, cool.
A squib. Okay.
Well, all right. Well, I mean, if I could pick my team, I'm going to go Voldemort. Tom Riddle.
Well, dang.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I literally told you earlier.
He's the worst. He's
powerful.
He's powerful, but
he's like Dumbledore. He's not as powerful. They call Dumbledore the only one that he feared, because Dumbledore saw him for what he was the first time he met him, and when he was a little kid. And so, anyways, but yeah, Tom Riddle. I'm rolling with Tom Riddle as my second.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Dang it. I'm gonna go with somebody named Dolores Umbridge. What, am I not picking good names?
She's evil. You picked
Is she bad?
You picked 2 of the meanest. You picked the 3 of the meanest people in Harry. Did you Google mean Harry Potter characters?
No, I just picked Harry Potter characters.
She is the only. Okay, Voldemort's in the whole thing. He's evil. All these people.
Her picture, she looks like a nice lady.
She's the worst, dude. She's in the 5th one. Amanda's never read them. She watched the movies. She is the only character that she verbally said, "Oh my gosh, kill her."
What?
Kill her.
What does she do?
She is the most obnoxious,
she a teacher?
mean. She worked for the Ministry of Magic, and then when the Ministry was trying to tighten down because they're trying to, Voldemort, came back, and there was, Harry's like, he's back. Dumbledore's like, he's back, but the Ministry of Magic doesn't want to say he's back. They're like essentially trying to cover it up, saying it's a conspiracy theory and trying to lie. They're essentially creating, saying they're liars and they're crazy. And then she worked for that. And so she went to take over Hogwarts. And
blatant denial of clear and present danger is what this website says.
Exactly.
Now. Oh, that's because Voldemort's back.
Yeah, and she wants to. They're denying it, and instead of saying, because he doesn't, the Minister of Magic, so the guy in charge, he doesn't want, whatever. He doesn't want people to panic, but it's like, no, we need to be aware. Like he's back, and he's like, he's in denial.
All right.
Cornelius Fudge was his name. He was a Hufflepuff.
Cornelius Fudge.
He's a Hufflepuff. Told you spot on.
Yeah,
Told you spot on. But yeah, she's Dolores Umbridge, and she's the worst.
I'm sorry, this is bad.
Okay, my third. You know what? I thought about Gillette Grindelwald, like he's the one that Johnny Depp was playing.
Hang on, I'm gonna. Yeah. Gillette Grindelwald.
Yeah,
I'm looking him up.
So I would have said him because he was pretty powerful, but I think only because he got the Elder Wand. I'd say he'd be a big deal. But you know who I'm gonna roll with?
How do you say his
Hermione.
Name?
Give me Hermione. She knows all the spells. Solid. So I've got Dumbledore, who's powerful but good. I got Voldemort, who's powerful but bad, and I got Hermione, who knows everything.
Durmstrang. I don't know what that is.
Durmstrang is another school.
Durmstrang, competing school.
Yeah, Beauxbatons and Hogwarts are three of the main schools in Europe, and they're the three that compete in the fourth one in the Triwizard Tournament.
Naturally. Who wins?
Well, you want to spoil it? No. I'm not gonna do it.
No, okay. Don't spoil
Robert Pattinson.
He
always wins.
He does. All right, you want to will it rock?
Let's do it. Okay.
Did we get all three? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Did
I go too fast?
Will it rock? The answer is probably yes.
You have no choice.
Let's go.
I feel like he'd ruin this thing.
He'd be a little over the top. I'm trying to think of who he could play. He would have been, who he'd have been good? He'd have been a good Hagrid.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because the
gamekeeper,
size.
he's huge. Yeah,
Hagrid is kind of like fun-loving, but like energetic and maybe a little bit dangerous.
Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, he got expelled when he was in school.
The clip that I watched with Cassidy was there was like it was like a giant, it was like a cat with wings. Or something like that, or like a giant, it was like a horse with wings.
Hippogriff, yeah.
Okay, and he was trying to, Harry jumped on it. He got Harry to, and he had to like look at it, jump on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, Hagrid seems cool, but he also seems like he could get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he's half giant, and so he's like he doesn't realize things that are dangerous. So like he became the Care of Magical Creatures teacher, and so he's teaching them these magical creatures. And he's supposed to be showing them, here's some flubberworms or whatever. He's like a little nothing, but he's like, here's a hippogriff, which a hippogriff is dangerous. That's why Harry has to get his trust, and Harry wants Hagrid to be a good teacher. So he's like, I'm brave. I'll step up. Okay. But then Malfoy does what he's not supposed to.
Malfoy yelled at him.
Yeah, did what he's not supposed to. He got his arm cut, and then his dad sued, and whatever. It's a whole thing. But yeah. So Buckbeak was going to get beheaded by Macnair, who is he executes.
Buckbeak. That's right. That's the thing. Yeah, it's not a cat.
No.
It's like a giant.
It's a horse.
It's a winged horse.
Yeah.
It has a beak.
Yeah.
Okay, naturally.
And then he flies off with Sirius, and they live in the woods.
You guys,
I got to use the restroom.
I'm going to go. Hey, we should end this, but I legit, next time we do one of these, I will have read the books. I'll do audiobook.
My man.
I'll do it. Okay.
I'm excited.
All right.
Oh, wow, we're ending. Oh, thanks for coming on TED Talk.
Explain Everything podcast. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Explain Everything Podcast. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but you're already here. We love you. No, actually, we're in love with you. Thanks for coming on our TED Talk. Bye.